Like, why did nobody tell me that? Why wasn't there some like warning label? Hey, before you start homeschooling your kids, you should know this. That's what I wish I had a dozen years ago, because we have gone through some stuff in a dozen years of homeschooling 4 kids, let me tell you. Minded Home, and welcome back to today's video. We have a video that comes out each and every day around these parts talking about all the homey things. So from homemaking to homeschooling, home discipleship to homesteading, all with an eternal heavenly minded perspective. And I'm so excited to get to share with you guys today, because we're talking about homeschooling, which I love so much. We have so many resources. Homeschooling is why we even started on YouTube over 5.5 years ago. And so if you're looking for any homeschool related anything, there are a bajillion links down there. We've got co-op classes that you can sign up for now. These are online classes that anyone can come sign up for. There are classes there in a faith-focused environment for kids from kindergarten up through our high schoolers. So a lot of really great stuff going on over there. Bible classes, reading classes, writing classes, art classes, you name it. They're going to have a great time. So be sure to check out those links down there. We got a video right up here where I explain what classes we have going on. But today I thought it would be fun to just take a little moment to talk about the 5 things I wish I had known a dozen years ago when we first started homeschooling. Now, we have 4 children. Our youngest is 5. The oldest is turning 19 literally here in just like a matter of days. I cannot believe, I don't know where the time goes. We graduated him here this past summer, and so now we are still schooling the 3 girls. We've learned a lot, okay? I'm not saying that, we've experienced it all, but with 4 kids in a dozen years, we've experienced quite a bit when it comes to our homeschooling journey. And I wish I would have known these things. We all live and learn, and we go through our lessons the way we go through them, but I wish all those years ago when we kind of just jet set it off into this like pulling our kid out of public school and going into homeschool, I wish I would have known these things. They would have made a really big impact. And if you guys are looking for more homeschool related content, I will put a playlist right up here. We'll link it down in the description where I share more kind of into the deeper nitty gritty of all of these things. But let's talk about these 5 things I wish we would have known a dozen years ago. Real quick, before we get going in here, we want to give a big thank you to the folks over at Glerc bikes. They have these adorable vintage inspired bikes for our kids, and they were so amazing to send some over for our girls. We have been loving bike riding time. Our kids love being outside, love being active. I'm going to share with you how we fit all this into our homeschool day, but I wanted to be sure to let you guys know that if you're looking for a bike for your kiddos, if you're looking for something especially that's really cute and kind of has that like sweet vintage feel to it, Glerc bikes is a great fit. They send their bikes over. They're easy to assemble. They're absolutely beautiful and very well made. So we've got, of course, a special discount code for you guys down in the description, but I wanted to be sure to just give you this little nugget, say hello, and thank you to Glerc bikes for sending those over. Now let's get back into talking about all these things I wish I would have known. The thing I wish I would have known is step 1, forget what you think homeschool looks like. This was huge. Going into this thinking that it looked like school at home. We're gonna have a schedule, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna always be at the table and use these books and these curriculums and these things. That led to so much heartache, not understanding what homeschool really is. And that is a journey of education that we do alongside of our children. I had this image in my head of what our homeschool day had to look like. And honestly, over the past dozen years, I still struggle with that from time to time. You see so many people, right? They share on Instagram or here on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and you see how they're doing it and you go, wow, like our day should look like that. Not necessarily. It's one thing for people to share, and if it's something that can help and be used, praise God, that's amazing, but it doesn't mean that that's what it has to look like. So often my image in my head of what we should be doing or what it should look like isn't what worked best for that child or worked best for our family in that specific season. And so if I could go back and tell myself the first thing, it would be, how about we just forget what we think homeschool needs to look like and instead really see it for what it is? The second thing here, kind of piggybacking off of that, if I could go back and tell myself, guess what? Different kids, different seasons of life, different needs. This was a big lesson for me. Our oldest child is very different from our second child. Second child's very different from the third child. Third child's very different from the fourth child. The difference of my approach in education for each child was really big. And even the differences between, like, we've been sharing homeschool vlogs with y'all for over 5 years. Seriously, if you want homeschool inspiration, like, we have a whole thing I can link down there where I have vlogged through like entire school years for you guys. And you can quite literally see the differences and things that we did in this season that now we wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Things that we're doing now that would not have worked back then. And so really just having to like mentally wrap that like around my mind of different kids, different seasons, different needs. That flexibility, and that instead of trying to make it that image of what I have to have, to really be able to look at each kid, each season of life we're going through, where our family's at, what we're collectively dealing with, being in ministry full time, and going, what is it that we actually need in this season for each child in our homeschool journey? And that's really important. And if I would have understood that a little bit sooner, things would have gone a lot smoother, because I kept trying to fit those square pegs into the round holes and it did not work. There's differences. There's change that needs to be made, and that's a great thing. The third thing that I wish I would have understood from the beginning is when you embark on this journey of homeschool, really, we're learning alongside of our children. I think we get this idea of like, I'm the teacher, you are the student, and I'm gonna do this and you're gonna do that, and it's gonna look like this, and we're gonna use this curriculum and use these things and have this schedule. And then things start to go wonky and we're like, oh, it's not working. Do I give up? Do I keep going? Now the kids are miserable, I'm miserable. My poor husband comes home and he's like, what's going on in here? Like, you guys have all lost your marbles. Yep. We have. Because what I needed to learn and understand was that this is a journey, this is an adventure, and we're going on it together. I am learning alongside of them. When this is something that we're all digging into and we're all enjoying, and not just lessons and teachings and curriculums and things, it really changes the mood, right? When we get in there and we are doing this alongside, we're always learning. I really kind of held on to this philosophy at the beginning of our years where I said, you know what? What we need to do is nurture a love of learning. And I should be the one leading the charge in loving learning. Let's learn about that. Let's do a unit study on that. Let's get out there and get our hands dirty and figure that out. Learn alongside of your kids. It's not just, I am teacher, you are student, this is what we're doing. We're learning together and we're having a great time doing it. That's a lesson I wish I would have understood from the very beginning. Friends, my fourth tip here, I am like a broken record. You can ask me nearly any question about homemaking, homeschooling, home discipleship, homesteading, you name it, homey things, and guess what my answer is most always going to be? For those of you who've been around for a while, you're probably already typing it down in the comment box below. Keep it simple. Simplicity wins every time, like in every situation. I am so into simplicity. Keep it simple. Do life together. I spent so many years, so much time, so much money, so much stress, so much heartache in trying to put together all the things. We're gonna do all the stuff. I've got to get the right curriculum. We have to have the right activities. Do all the things, okay? Simplicity. That's what wins every time. I can tell when my kids are starting to be frustrated, not interested, overwhelmed, we've done too much. I need to scale it back and pump the brakes a little bit. We are way too overextended. Doing life together has honestly been the most rewarding way to educate our children. We include our children in life, in homekeeping, in home fixing, in ministry, in business, in whatever it is that we have going on. We just bring them alongside of us so they're learning along the way. They're getting involved in budgeting and grocery shopping and cooking and sewing and tending and whatever it may be. including them just in whatever we already have going on, gives them such a rich, deep education where they're hands-on, they're doing it, they're explaining it, they're living it. And I wish I would have understood that sooner. Sweet friends, the fifth and final thing that I wish I would have known, that I wish I would have prioritized, that I wish I would have just really embraced a dozen years ago in starting with this whole homeschool journey would be to enjoy every moment, to seek the beautiful and lovely days. Maybe I'm just getting to be that sappy mom, I don't know. But especially with our oldest being nearly 19, he's graduated. Our youngest is 5 and she's so grown up. I was pregnant with her when we started YouTube. Like so many of you have literally watched her grow up and seeing what she's doing now, what she's learning and just speaking and all the things that she does. Enjoy every moment. Homeschooling is wonderful. Being with our kids all the time is the most amazing thing in the whole wide world, and I will forever be one of the biggest advocates for it. But seek those beautiful days. Have fun, enjoy. It's not all about bookwork and rigorous schedules and things like that. It's doing all of these things. It's enjoying life and doing things together and getting active. I want to go ahead here and just give a little shout out to Glerc bikes. They're so amazing, and they reached out and asked if our girls would be interested in some bikes. And for us, these beautiful days are things that we actively seek and plan into our homeschool days. And so, especially with fall coming up and it's getting so beautiful outside, the days are getting a little cooler. Absolutely, our girls were in some desperate need of a new bike. And at Glerc Bikes, they have these beautiful, like vintage inspired bikes. So right away, they had my attention. These bikes arrived and they are gorgeous. From our youngest to our oldest, they have these beautiful bikes. They are so well made. My husband got them put together. He just followed the instructions and he was Mr. Bike Assembly Man. He's actually quite good at it now. He got all of their bikes assembled. It really wasn't too bad at all. Didn't take them too much time, and they're gorgeous. The older girls have these beautiful leather handles, gorgeous seats, beautiful baskets, and Olivia, of course, she was able to get a blue bike, and blue is her favorite color, so she was very, very excited. We even were able to get, they have their helmets that kind of coordinate with the same colors, and so it just has this like very fun, cozy feeling, and we can seek those beautiful days. The girls are out there riding bikes every day. We can sit outside and read and ride bikes and tend to the animals and do the different things we're doing. We love going on nature walks, and now we're going to be adding in some nature bike rides, and our girls are so excited because instead of just saying this is the box that we will fit in and this is what we must do, we prefer to say this is what we want to do, and let's explore and learn while we're doing it, right? Why not spend the day being out riding our bikes and seeing God's creation and having the sunshine and the wind and all of the things that the Lord has given us, and learning and talking and exploring right along the way, seeing them build up their relationships as they're out there playing together and they're doing bike races and playing with the sheep and, you know, doing all of these fun things has just been such a blessing. And I would much rather seek the beautiful days, applying all of these tips here that really give our children a rich and deep education in more ways than one. So again, thank you to Glerc Bikes for sending these. I am obsessed. They are well worth it, well built, adorable, adorable bikes. And so if you guys have been looking for some good bikes for the kiddos, I will link down there for you guys to go and check them out. Their stuff was gorgeous, and it has made a big difference around here as the kids have literally been living on their bikes. I'm not even kidding. So friends, the top 5 things that I wish I would have known a dozen years ago when going into our homeschool journey and figuring all of this out and kind of learning the hard way, these are the things that I wish I would have known, the things I wish I would have understood, and the things that I feel most passionate about encouraging and equipping others with, as we truly do desire to be here to serve you, to serve your family. So pass this along, share it with your other homeschool friends. Let this be something that can go and be an encouragement. Not like you have to do it like how we do it, but if sharing how we do it can help someone else, then all glory to God. That's why we're here. Again, you guys, we have lots of links down in the descriptions, different homeschool resources. Check out Glerc Bikes. You can see what our kiddos got. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and leave you with something that I think will help along these lines. See you here tomorrow. Bye, friends.